How'd you get involved with UC Health and talking about mental health?
Well, UC Health has been an affiliate with the Denver Nuggets, and I've done plenty of activations and just interactions with UC Health, going to the hospitals, meeting with some kids, and it's all been very beneficial and progressive. I think they wanted to do something more on the mental aspect of health as opposed to like the physicality of being a professional athlete. And I guess they looked into my background and know that I had been doing some mental health training for quite some time. So through my team off the court, my team on the court, and UC Health, we were able to establish a relationship.
When did you start focusing more on your mental health and trying to work on that as much as you do your physical health?
I was young. I was maybe 11 when I first got introduced to it. I got reintroduced to it around 13 years old, between just guided meditations and breath work. I was so nervous as a kid. I was a freshman playing varsity, and playing against older guys made me nervous, so I had to figure out a way to calm myself down before games, and breath work and meditation was the way to do that. And then I got introduced to Eastern philosophy when I was maybe 16, 17 years old. And then once I got to the pros, as a rookie, I got my rookie contract, I got my car, I got my apartment, I made sure my family was taken care of. I was sitting in my apartment and I was still, I wouldn't say depressed, but unfulfilled is the word that I would use, and which makes no sense. You know, you feel like you're just a young kid that just achieved his dream and then got all these material things handed to him, and it was like, what's next? There's something deeper to this than just surface superficialities of life.
How did focusing on your mental health and meditation and Eastern philosophies, how did that help you find more fulfillment in what you were feeling like you were missing?
It's as cliche as it comes, but it's the journey. You know, it's the process. It's not the destination. And too often we look for the results and we look for the destination as opposed to just enjoying the moments and how we get there, and all of the things that it takes to get there, and the long, grueling process of achieving your goals is actually where the gold is. And the Eastern philosophy talks about being in the present moment, and I think too often in Western philosophy it's thinking about the next step or what had happened and how we can correct.
It seems like something that can really help you in your basketball journey. It's not about the wins or the losses, and you talk about the cliche, we always hear it's about the process to get there, and you want to be process oriented, not results driven. How does that help you on the court to be a better basketball player?
Well, if you could control the outcome of things, we would win every game. We'd be 82-0. So you can't control the outcome. You establish what the goal, what you want to happen, and then after that, you just take moment to moment. And the more present team is usually the team that wins. They make less mistakes. They argue with the refs less. They understand what's at stake. They know the time and score more. And I think they have more fun. It's where you find the flow state. And that philosophy in turn makes you a better athlete. And I think whatever your profession is, I think it makes you better.
I want to rewind back to your Bay Area days and as a freshman, and you dealing with this anxiety of being a freshman playing on varsity against 18-year-olds. Who was it that saw you were struggling with that and introduced you to, hey, maybe you should check out meditation or check out some of these things?
Absolutely. I had a great coach in Tim Kennedy and Graham Betchart, who is basically a guru, from the Bay Area. And Graham would drive down from Pacifica and teach our team about being present and not making mistakes, even earlier than that. And it was just like kind of like Mamba mentality-esque, you know. Kobe had it figured out, Mike had it figured out, a couple other people had it figured out, Yoke has it figured out. It's not being so caught up and so emotional in failure, and seeing failure as just a building block to a more solid foundation of success.
I know talking with you last year when you were dealing with some of your injuries that kept you out for extended periods, and this year again, you said basketball is one of those things that helps calm you and relax you and brings you comfort. When it's taken away from you because of injuries, how much more do you rely on meditation to get through, and so that way you can have an outlet that basketball isn't able to provide for you at the time?
Absolutely. Yeah, basketball has always been an outlet for me. But I was lucky enough to be blessed with foresight. My parents have instilled that on me. So I knew that life was rough, even though I was coming from San Jose, California, which was a blessing, and being looked after by my older brother, older sister, and my two parents. So I knew life was a blessing, but I also knew life could be rough. So I was preparing myself for some of the trying factors in life at a young age, at 13. And I say that to say this. I know I'm not going to be able to play basketball forever. So to have basketball as my only outlet for calming myself and centering myself would be a mistake for after when I'm not playing basketball any longer. So now I look for other ways of catharsis between reading, writing, painting, making music, being with my nephews. And yeah, meditation is big. I think when I was younger, you know, the idea of meditation was, it's like hours and hours and hours of just sitting patiently and thinking of nothing, you know, which is unrealistic. You know, meditation is more about 2 to 3 minutes a day of just centering yourself and being completely present in your body. And yeah, I think it's much more beneficial when you just take it little chunks at a time.
You mentioned you have this great support system around you and your family, and you mentioned your brother, and I know he passed away a little over a year and a half ago. How tough was that on your mental health, and how important was knowing these tools that you have with meditation, and how important mental health is to help you get through a time like that?
Yeah, it's extremely important. I'm still working on it. It's not, there's no end to mental health and mental therapy and mental resiliency and elasticity. Being able to be flexible and fluid mentally is something that you need to work on every day, just like you work on every other craft or anybody else works on their respective crafts, you know? So I haven't been the same person since. And I think it is manifesting itself in injuries, in soft tissue injuries. You know, I think losing my brother has done something. It's showing up viscerally in my body because, you know, your body doesn't lie. Your body can't lie. As much as you like to trick your mind, your body remembers. So now it's just about exercising those uncomfortable memories and sufferings, so my body can let go and relax and do what it needs to do, because right now, yeah, it's holding on and I'm pulling stuff.
Is that kind of a revelation to you, that something that affected you so deeply is showing up physically? Is that kind of a surprise at how interconnected the mind and the body both are?
I think if you're a firm believer in Western philosophy, it's surprising. I think if you've dipped into the Eastern philosophy a bit more, it's pretty obvious. You know, the mind-body connection is a real thing. People hold tension everywhere throughout their lives, whether it be their shoulders, their back. Mine happens to be my hamstrings.
You also talked about how you're an artist, like you paint. I know you're in the studio a whole bunch. How does that stuff also help you with your mental health and kind of refocus and recenter you?
It puts things into perspective. It helps you express recurring thoughts, and helps center you, brings you back down to earth, and I guess puts you in touch with your humanity, and also it shows you that you're not alone in what you're feeling.
How much do you talk with your teammates about mental health and meditation? Because we think of these pro athletes, these titans of the world, larger than life and stronger and can jump higher, but you all are human and you deal with these things. How much of this stuff is a conversation in the locker room or when you're hanging out with them outside of the practice facility?
It just depends, just saying, the people that want to hear it don't need it, and the people that need to hear it don't want it. So you have to navigate that tactfully. But as far as just the sports verbiage and the sports language, I have a whole playbook of things that need to be said and things that can be said that just bring you back to the present moment. Like simple as next play, or all right, let's focus on this play. And I mean, that's deeply rooted in just being in the now, being in the present. That's a big one.
There are these phrases, these cliches, to go back to that term, that exist throughout all of sports always. Does that kind of show that mental health has always been intertwined with sports? We're just now calling it something different?
Yeah, I think the more focused team wins. Point blank period. That's how it goes. The more focused team wins. Bruce Lee has a quote about I don't know, along the lines of a great man is just a regular man with laser-like focus, and it's true. The more focused team wins, and focus is pretty synonymous with mental health.
I know you like to go into the studio and record music that you put out in the world for Spotify, and I know that can be a really vulnerable thing because music is a way we express ourselves. But you were also in the studio recently recording these meditations, over an hour's worth, I think you did. What was that like when you're used to going in and spitting bars, and now here you are doing a 10-minute meditative recording?
I mean, still bars, meditation bars. It's just different. I think equally as important. The song, it can reach people and touch people in different ways, and the meditations can. Still voiceover. I did radio back when I was a rookie. I've done rapping and singing, so I'm not new to speaking over a microphone, and I had some really good people in there coaching me. And then I think what makes a good song or a good recording is when you believe what you're saying. So I think the belief behind the recordings of UC Health meditations are really what's going to drive it home and really what is going to make it connect with people.
Did you write what you were recording on your own, or was it a collaborative effort?
I did not write what I was recording. Sometimes I would put it into my own rhetoric, I suppose, or verbiage, but it was spot on. It was A1, perfect. I couldn't have written it better than myself.
These recordings have only been on the UC Health app for the patients to use for a little bit, and this is before they launch on Spotify on Monday. But Grant was just telling me that they've already been listened, over 100 hours have been streamed of this. What does that mean to you that you're already making such an immediate impact on people and helping them kind of center and work on their mental health?
It's nice. It's really humbling. I'm proud of that. that's part of my vocation. You know, part of my purpose is to help people focus and help people alleviate some of the suffering that comes with being a person.
And one last one for you.
Or I guess giving people tools to help alleviate some of the suffering that comes with a person. Sorry.
No, you're good, because suffering is part of life. Like you said, we're never going to escape it. How special is it to you that through your platform of basketball, that's why you got introduced to this back when you were a freshman, because basketball was giving you some anxiety as much as of a release as it is for you, and it introduced you to the importance of mental health and then Eastern philosophies. And now here you are on the biggest stage in the world, and you're able to touch more people and help spread this word about the importance of mental health and meditation. How special is it to you that you can kind of meld your two loves and one led to the other, and here you are helping people that you don't even know?
I think that's why basketball is such a beautiful sport, and sports in general, but I think basketball is just poetry in motion. I think it's a work of art. There's so many life lessons that go into playing basketball, being on this court. I think too many for one interview, but yeah, it's just a beautiful way for me to practice what I preach.